G'day everybody, welcome back for another night of VCS action here on VCS English. My name is Everyday, with me as always are the brainy bunch of Yulwei and Vinnie. We've got some good games for you this week, as we always do, and we are starting off with some crackers. But let's have a look at the league as a whole first. But of course, Yulwei, how are you this week, mate?
I'm running around really fast on the Rift every single game. I love Lilia. Please give me Lilia and pro play. I want to cast Lilia as soon as possible.
Vinnie, how are you as well? I know you are another ascribant to the Church of Lilia. I think all three of us have been playing a shitload of her.
Yeah, I've got you guys onto the true way of playing Lilia. None of this filthy jungle stuff that Riot's trying to push. Lane Lilia, top lane, Lilia, mostly tank all the time.
It's
just too good.
Hell yeah. I'm absolutely a disciple of that church. Lane Lilia, I've been just doing it all week. Feeling dirty. But hey, I'm a top laner. Whenever something degenerate pops up, you know, those top lane mains are sneaking on in. Ooh, something disgusting, yes. But let's have a talk about the VCS. We had an interesting week last week. It was the games we wanted to go to 3 series didn't do it for us. They were all 2-0s, but the less impactful games, we'll put it that way, definitely went to 3. So let's kind of reflect a little bit on the split so far. And how would you like to guys like to start it off? Yulwei, do you want to point us? Yeah, we'll have a look at the standings. That's a good point. Get those up.
We see it's back to normalcy a little bit. Flash and GAM, the Spring Split finalists, back on top. Cerberus has fallen off a little bit. Team Secret now in 4th place together with Cerberus, I believe. Or are they even ahead of Cerberus?
Tied with Cerberus.
Tied. They are dead even.
Yeah, we basically changed EVOS for Cerberus, and then it's all the same as in Spring Split. So a little bit more a normal middle of the split, but it's still 5 series to go for every team, so there's still a lot to come.
That there is. Vinnie, what is your kind of reflection on the split so far and where we're at now?
I'm glad to see a lot more of the I'm glad to see the teams picking up where they should be. I'm glad to see GAM and Flash coming together, being able to build up more of an actual macro sense, because individual players they weren't the issue for GAM, they were a little bit for Flash, but they've stepped up massive. I'm a bit disappointed to see EVOS go like 0-4 last week.
Yeah, that was disappointing.
Because they were coming off a big win streak against the bottom teams. We thought maybe they can contend, and they just kind of got rolled over. So that was upsetting. But the fall of Cerberus is a bit upsetting as well. But because they were hot, but
they were also playing a style that I think we all like to see.
Yeah.
But speaking of where we think people are at, let's have a look at our power rankings. As we move it over to that, me and Vinnie are in pretty much, we're in fact in complete agreement. We have everything exactly the same. Yulwei, you think Flash is better than GAM? I have to say, I don't hate that opinion. I think they're very, very close. And of course, our Discord's average agrees with you. Do you want to talk us through why you think
Discord
Flash...
averages was what we thought at the start of the split.
Oh, that's true.
That's why
that's
EVOS
true.
is that high. So.
Yeah, fair enough. But still, putting Flash that high is becoming true. But Yulwei, do you want to talk about why you think Flash is better than GAM?
So, of course, I might be a little bit Flash biased because I looked at Flash a lot last week for my video. But for me, Flash, if I just look at the matchup, because I feel like GAM and Flash are both ahead of all the other teams right now, so it doesn't really matter if one team is better against the competition than the other, because in my opinion, both teams would beat every other team right now. So it comes down to the matchup, and the matchup between Flash and GAM, in my opinion, is Flash favored right now, and the reason for that is Flash is going to survive early game against GAM. They have one of the strongest mid laners, and he's going to be able to kind of neutralize 𝗣𝗲, so one pillar of GAM's gameplay is going to fall not completely off, but not be as relevant as he is most of the time. And then team fights, I think Flash has better compositions. They are better team fighters in general. So I feel like the games are going to go 30, 35 minutes, and then Flash is just the better late game team.
Fair enough.
That makes
Now, Vinny, we're in agreement about GAM, but you are, of course, the smarter pair of our duo. Do you want to talk about why we think GAM is the better one here?
So, I mean, it kind of comes down to they have better players a little bit. I don't think the team fighting in the late game is that big of an advantage for Flash. Especially because their early to mid game macro, I don't think is enough to counter the macro from GAM in the early to mid game, where they are able to. Sure, their macro is mostly go in and fight for something, but they set up their fights really in the early skirmishes really well, and I think they have that potential to push through and get themselves to a point where even if Flash are better in the late game, it won't matter because they're too far down, and they'll close out before gold leads are irrelevant.
Yeah, that's very much my thought as well. And in particular, I think the thing about Flash is, yeah, they've looked revitalized, but part of the reason they have looked so much better is Yoshino's return, right? But 𝗂𝗃 still exists. Right? 𝗂𝗃, arguably the best player in the league at the moment. It's hard to kind of talk about top lane advantages while that man is on the Rift. But go ahead, continue.
To be honest, I don't actually know if Yoshino's had that much of an impact in terms of as an individual. I mean, he's brought to the team as in terms of draft phase, yeah, sure. But in terms of his actual play, yes, he's an improvement over Stark, but he's not like that much. He's not like the superstar we all wanted him to be, which
not yet.
No blame
he might
to him,
still go there.
I mean, yeah, the potential is there, but from what we've seen,
it's true. So
I want to touch on two contentious spots, which might be interesting to talk about just really quickly. One is 𝗍𝗲's position, and especially 𝗍𝗲's in relation to Cerberus, and the other one is 𝗳𝗏𝗏 and %, because of course % is playing in our first series here. So we all agreed on %, moving % down to 7th place, below 𝗳𝗏𝗏. Of course, they lost 0-2 again. I don't think that's a very confident placement. I think it's still very close between the two. I actually feel like % is still the better team when it comes to against all of competition. But the problem is 0-2 in head-to-head. So
yeah.
I mean, my view on why I put % 7th and Buffalo 6th is I just think Buffalo can ride 𝗲𝗲 and Meliodas to 6th. I think when you're talking about that end of the table, you actually can ride one or two players, right? It's not enough to get Buffalo into the top 4. Absolutely not even close to the top 4, but it's enough to get them to 6th. But of course, there's a bit to talk about with %. They have potentially, we don't know if he'll be on stage tonight. We'll find out in our first series. They have picked up a new coach, and I think that's a big, big deal for them. Yulwei, what are your thoughts?
Picked up a coach.
Having a coach is a big deal, right?
Imagine he's a Westerner or whatever. If they have picked up a coach, that is the first step in the right direction, because their drafts haven't been the greatest. In fact, I think they have been the worst in the league and have definitely thwarted some of their victories. To think back to the OPG series, they were better in all 3 games, but almost lost the series anyway, just because of draft disadvantage. Then I think, which was another one? I feel like the Cerberus one was okay. But secret one. Yeah.
But we will crack quickly on, just because I am mindful of heading into game, to our predictions for this week. We're all in agreement. Pretty much. Nope. Except for the one, I was going to get to it, don't you worry. You think 𝗍𝗲s are going to beat Cerberus, so you've lost all faith in them. Do you want to run us through that one your way? Why have you lost all faith in Cerberus?
It's actually more on still on the positive part for 𝗍𝗲s, because I actually still kind of have a little of belief left in me for 𝗍𝗲s. I know it sounds foolish at this point, but looking back at their games against Team Secret last week, I actually think 𝗍𝗲𝗄 was very close to winning the series. They looked like the better team in the game they won, and they were very close in the other two games. I think Team Secret outdrafted them again, which is Team Secret's specialty. But I feel like 𝗍𝗲 still played them very closely compared to Cerberus, who just got stomped by Secret. So just by comparing the two teams against the same opponent, it looked to me like 𝗍𝗲𝗄 was the better one.
Fair
So
enough.
I feel like there is something to fight for 𝗍𝗲𝗄.
Fair enough. Vinny, do you want to talk about why you and me, I'll let you justify our decision, so don't let me down. Do you want to talk about why you think Cerberus is still better?
I think it was kind of just a bad week last week, more than anything. You could really pick out the players who were just not really performing up to standard. It was mostly Yado and Zhuhao. And, you know, your mid jungle is such an important core. If that falls apart, I mean, LL was also really shocking, but when Pun was in it, they were so much better. So it was just those three players really just dropping the ball that week. And it was uncharacteristically bad individual play, not really bad macro sense or bad team cohesion or bad drafts or anything that indicates a greater problem with them. I just think they had an off week.
Fair enough. And we were going to talk about our first matchup in a bit more detail. It is GAM versus 𝗲𝗏. Sorry that we didn't get to it. We lost track of time a little bit as we are running straight into draft. So we will head over to that one, as we do see the bands coming in. And look at this. A team is paying attention to the man in the mid lane, as Lucian and Jace have been removed by 𝗲𝗏. GAM have gotten rid of Syndra and Zoe. Vinny, hit me up with how 𝗲𝗏 wins this matchup, because it's very hard for them. But if they're going to win, how do they do it?
I think you try and replicate what you did in the first match. You try and shut down the bot lane and the top lane. And so last time they just put 𝗬𝗲𝗄 on like 𝗲𝗲𝗄 and 𝗬𝗏𝗄 and just tried to neutralize the top lane, while in the first game while they put 𝗏𝗏𝗄 on these lane dominant carries like Draven, like the Kalista, and then they just sort of push through that lane. So I think that is the opposite of what they're doing right now. I also think it's potentially worth trying to target Levi instead of Dia1 in this particular matchup, because Glory, I think, can handle Dia, but if you put Levi...
Very bold.
But Levi, in the last series, was pushed onto Sylas and Kayn.
Yeah,
those
that
were
was pretty
picks
rough.
last series.
Those were not great.
It was very rough for GAM then. So you could just try to replicate that. What they're doing here is fine. They're just taking away Dia's star potential.
Hello. Secret, apparently.
They are scrimming Secret for sure. And as much as I'd like to talk about GAM, I hate to appear biased, but GAM is doing pretty standard things at the moment, I think. Going for that Renekton and the Ezreal. That's something they do often.
See some 10-14 spice. Come on. Where are our 10-14 picks? Hello?
That's true. They look in GAM as well.
I guess Nocturne
Yulwei. Again, I feel bad because I'm about to get to talk to you about 𝗲𝗏 again. I don't like getting both of our analysts to talk about the same team, but what do you think about this comp so far for 𝗲𝗏?
They have some very nice foundations. We have Galio, Nocturne for double dive. The Aphelios is kind of in a weird spot right now, especially if you follow up with more dive. You're like, okay, Aphelios, do your own thing. Have fun playing against Renekton and Ezreal diving you, or whatever comes after that. So I feel like the team composition has two faces right now. So I'm interested to see if they go full on dive, round out with something like Camille in top lane, even though I would really hate to see Camille into Renekton here for 𝗬𝗏𝗄. He already struggled on Camille last week. And you have a good combination for Camille. You can try to play top lane, but Camille into Renekton is a very hard matchup. You're playing against Kiaya, so I'd like to see maybe a full tank for 𝗬𝗏𝗄, something that can dive and peel. The Malphite comes to mind. Maokai could work too, so let's see where they want to go. Then support, could actually just be an enchanter here to give a little bit more backline safety to 𝗣𝗂𝗏𝗏. I think Lulu could work here in this bot lane.
Potentially. We do see the Gragas ban. Levi was insane on that pick last week. But Vinny, I will throw you over to the GAM draft. We will, of course, see another lock-in soon. How do you feel about it so far? In my opinion, it's pretty bog standard. I think it's looking good for them. But
It's
what's
pretty
your
standard.
view?
There's nothing to really worry about. Levi still has his pick of whatever AP jungler he wants, so they don't have to vary things up too much. I'm very interested to see what Dia falls to now.
Ooh,
as
hello.
Mage.
All three of his main
Has to be a mage.
champs are picked.
That's an AD jungler, just for the record.
Levi's Lee Sin. There we go. That is going to indicate a mage, but what mage? Do we see the 𝗬𝗄𝗃 come out, or something that he used to play back in the
Nico?
spring?
He's played it.
Once
could
he
see
could go
Nico.
Cassidy in here.
And hello, Yulwei! God damn, the 200
Brain
IQ
Yulwei.
continues to show as there is the Lulu. And are they going to give YT the cannon? It would make sense. It's against Renekton.
I would prefer something that prevents the backline
yeah,
access a bit more.
I would agree.
Like a Malphite or a Maokai or something.
Cannon
along those
can
lines.
actually be a good peel champion.
yeah, it's true.
But would
Can
they
just sit
play-
on your ADC and then press R, and the enemy team can't advance. So it's possible. It's not really played like that right now. So see what they can do.
It's true.
Old school, huh?
I think it's a pretty
Cool.
standard Renekton counter pick. It's a champion that can go
Counter
even.
pick.
Well, counter in terms of it can go even in lane, which not many
It
champions
doesn't
can
die.
do.
Nice counter you
But
have there.
there is the final pick. Dia 1 will go towards the Rumble. So we have two mid laners that both kind of want to be leaving mid. Yulwei, I will give you the opportunity to talk about 𝗏 as your main champion is featured. Give me the rundown of 𝗏's win conditions and what you think of their overall comp.
I think they have built a very good composition, especially compared to what they built normally. I actually think Lulu, Aphelios should not have any trouble in the late game to just carry this game. There isn't the biggest dive threat, especially in late game for the enemy team. So I feel like just bring your Aphelios to 3 items, survive bot lane, and then you can just win the team fights. And to do that, you will use all the global pressure from Eagle and Glory while YT is playing weak side cannon. I feel like that's what's going to happen here. So a lot of bot side focus, scaling bot lane, and just hope to not fall that you don't fall behind 5k at 15 minutes.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Now, Vinny, I will ask you, what's your opinion on the GAM comp and what do they want to be doing in this matchup?
So GAM really has to. I mean, they have the Ezreal for late game insurance policy, but they are looking to snowball pretty hard with the top side, because Rumble will fall off pretty hard. So will Renekton's damage and Lee Sin's damage. And then you're just left with a Barden and Ezreal and 3 not very tanky meatballs to try and peel for them. So which plays into the team matchup, as 𝗏 is a much weaker early game than GAM, but as it gets foggy on the ref for some reason.
Ooh, hello. That's a very atmospheric way to go in. Oh, wow. Production. Absolutely flexing. That looked very, very cool. But, Vinny, give us your prediction, and we'll talk to you after this game.
I think that the 𝗏 draft has set up in a way that they should actually be able to hold off the snowball pretty well unless something goes disastrous. So I'm going to lean 𝗏.
Very bold. We'll talk to you after this game, of course. I would love 𝗏 to win. It would be a bit of an upset if we are just looking at strength of team. You can see in the win-loss record, 3-6 to 7-2 is a fairly stark difference. But now it will just be me and Yulwei bringing you all the action on the Rift. And I can guarantee whenever GAM is here, it will be action, as it is going to be an early invade.
It's already passed the first Lulu test, best Lulu skin with one of the best Coronas, so well played there.
So
Ignite is quite interesting. That is a very aggressive choice for this Lulu. Would have thought he'd go heal cleanse or something, heal barrier.
talk to me all about this, Lulu. I know this is a champion you really, really like. So I want to give you the opportunity. Talk it through to me. How does it work in this composition? What does it do in particular against GAM? I think it's pretty obvious what it does for percent. It ults the 𝗂𝗄𝗏. But how does it interact with the GAM comp?
So we all know, we've heard a lot about the struggles of 𝗂𝗏𝗏. He needs people to come into him because he's low range, and then he really thrives when everyone... Oh, we have a little bit of a counter invade here from 𝗧𝗲 and 𝗧𝗲, dear.
Ooh, this is denying the vertical jungle. They are spotted on the ward, though, so Eagle backs off. Did he get the red buff? No, so it will be the successful 3 buff by 𝗧𝗲. He'll get the 2 red buffs, and this Nocturne is looking pretty upset. But do continue your Lulu point.
It makes this champion even more sturdy, even harder to take down. It also interrupts important combos, especially against a Lee Sin. If Lulu is able to, if Lulu is really on top of her game, she can interrupt Lee Sin's, maybe not flash ultimate, but definitely insects, because she can just ultimate him, and then he can't get on the other side. She can also just polymorph him if she's really on top of her game. So Lulu can really make the game hell for 𝗧𝗲 to play in the late game. And then 𝗂𝗏𝗏 is just too tanky with all the extra damage from the shields, from Ardent Sensor. You know, Lulu is the best champion for on-hit damage buffs. And Eagle is very, very cautious. He's a strong champion level 3, but it seems like he doesn't fancy a fight here with 𝗧𝗲.
I mean, it is Lee Sin, right? Lee Sin is very strong early game. He has...
Does he win against Nocturne? If Nocturne blocks his Q, I think Nocturne should win.
I think that's so much if.
Yes.
That's the big if, right?
True. It's another opportunity for your Eagle, and this time he actually has the initiative.
He should be taking the fight here. I don't think you let this chicken go. He puts the tether down, but immediately backs off. This is a little bit too cautious here from Eagle, in my opinion. He is giving everything up to 𝗧𝗲. You don't...
Double scuttle, he's already a level behind.
You give 𝗧𝗲 an inch and he'll take a whole mile. Eagle, mate, I understand being a little bit afraid of that MVP jungler, but, mate, you've got to back yourself a little bit. Come on.
So the big problem we saw there was mid lane pressure was constantly in GAM's favor, of course, right? Dia1 pushed in the wave time and time again. So it would have cost 𝗀𝗏𝗏 a lot to actually help his jungler out there. So the call was probably made in the team to kind of give up on the jungle and try to get 𝗀𝗏𝗏 ahead, which I don't really like. I know 𝗀𝗏𝗏 is your star player, but not on this champion. You should probably try to funnel a little bit more, especially experience on Eagle, because he needs that level 6. And right now he's very far behind. He's still level 3 after almost 5 minutes. Now, he's not even going to hit level 4 of this camp. He is unbelievably far behind.
Yeah, this is an absolute disaster we see as well. I mean, hello percent. This is their very standard. They fall behind everywhere in the early game, as we do see Glory down 10 CS, the jungle down levels and CS, and the top lane, I guess, that's a Renekton. It's pretty normal.
You guys level 5 now.
Yeah, this is a bit disastrous.
This is the biggest jungle gap that shouldn't have happened I've seen in a while.
I mean, I thought the VCS was famous for their Nocturne level 6s. What's happened? Apparently it's on the wrong team. As 𝗧𝗲 will not be on the Nocturne. He can't do his famous 5-minute paranoia in this one. Yeah, this is a bit of a disaster for here for percent. They're already down 500 gold despite almost nothing happening. YT has been absolutely ruined in the top lane.
Still level 3. It's 6 minutes in the game. My God, he's 3 levels down compared to Kiaya.
Well, I mean, let's talk. And there's 𝗧𝗲 should be able to get this dragon almost uncontested. There's no way that the level 3 Nocturne can do anything. How does this affect percent's win conditions?
I mean, it basically, they've basically all scrapped all their early game plans and said, bot lane, you have Lulu, please. Please carry us. Hyper carry plus Lulu, we all know the stories. So let's go. Eagle's level 4. Can he land a nice early gank? YT has Flash ultimate available. I think you need to go for this kill. You need to find something here. Eagle with a very cool, weird angle, but he's still there.
Yeah, there is the ultimate. He's coming that out. 𝗂𝗃 taking a lot of damage. The Q will not land from Eagle, and that's just a slice and dice away. The ults were traded, but 𝗂𝗃 in the end is saying, bro, you're level 4. You really want to try that? Good luck, dude. Why didn't he come? Why didn't he come from Tribush? Oh, yep, Eagle's about to die. He gets, he does block the stun, flashes away. 𝗂𝗃 now getting feared. There's the red carpet. Smart there by 𝗂𝗏 to stop Glory from turning something around. So it's ults for ults.
Look at this tragedy. Look at this tragedy.
Levi says, you're in the top lane? That means your Krugs are mine. And takes away another camp disaster for Eagle. His wings,
full CS right now.
Eagle's wings have not just been clipped, they've been broken. Someone call a vet, because we've got a suffering bird. This is rough.
He has nothing. Look at his inventory. It's so sad. Oh god. Okay, this is going to be a very hard game. It's only a 1k gold lead for GAM, so you could still see some miracle, maybe weird fight where GAM overextends and gets % back into the game, but they basically need to end 2-3 kills into Eagle to make him irrelevant in this game. He's still level 5. He's going to take every single buff now because he can't afford to lose any more experience. If Levi finds him with ultimate, he's just dead, so he needs to be super careful. His bot side jungle is cleared. Where's his red buff?
Not respawned
Not even sure where his red buff went.
I imagine that was just a re-invade by Levi. He had the full bot lane prio. I will admit I missed it amongst the chaos. Big Cora getting stunned up there. No big deal. Percent, at least their Aphelios is going even. That's nice.
Yep.
Is it enough? We'll find out.
We'll have to see. Aphelios, of course, needs a little bit of time. A very expensive build, especially compared to Ezreal. So it's on GAM to continue the snowball in this game. They have an insanely strong 1-2 item power spike, 1-2 punch team for composition, and Eagle is level 5 still.
Uh-oh, Eagle's getting burninated, and there he is! First blood comes in, and that Nocturne, 9 minutes into the game, does not have access to Paranoia. Levi soloed the Rift Herald, and I think GAM is garming them. They're garming up the boys. This is a broken record.
A little bit of a weird GAM game. This is very much.
Rift Herald summoned up.
I mean, usually we see GAM
the target. There is the slicing Maelstrom, but no one's actually hit him yet. YT going low. 𝗂𝗃 has to dash away. He lives, but at what cost? Both guard members actually went too low to stick around. They got the tower plates, but that's not going to be it.
So the force.
Hello, Mr. Yulwei.
A lot of summoners from YT is enticing for GAM though, because 𝗂𝗃 is missing his flash, Levi has no ultimate, so it's kind of whatever. You don't really want to spend time in top lane anymore. He also gave Eagle a little bit of time to actually get 1 or 2 camps, so let's see if he can hit level 6 and make something happen. Maybe dive into level 91 to instantly die again. Let's see.
I mean, this is a big point though. That Paranoia doesn't really do much when you're so far behind. Cool, you join a fight. You're a sack of 350 gold. Good job, dude. This Nocturne kind of already failing. Obviously the idea is the Nocturne Galio, right? Very strong in team fights, the Galio delivery system. We know how that works, but are they already bugging on that front?
Yeah, it's all eggs in Vicora's basket. Well, this strikes me as a little bit of an odd strategy from Percent. I like to see this draft, but looking back in hindsight, of course, now at the 2 junglers they have for their team, it's really not something I would kind of attribute to Eagle to play this. This is more of a 𝗲𝗏𝗿 champion, more of a heavy farm, try to be selfish jungler, not the Eagle way of Trundle.
Oh, this is mean, Levi.
So
Levi,
it does look a little bit off here. He was way too defensive and.
Oh no, he's not going to go for it. He's going to take the Drake away.
Levi has no vision, actually. Ah, now he is.
Yeah, he hits the Cloud Drake, and due to the reset from percent, there should be a second
It's
Drake
only one
here
kill
for
at 11 minutes in a GAM game.
I know, right? It's pretty insane. There's the paranoia. He goes in on to 𝗣𝗲𝗏, who flashes over the wall immediately. Can they do something with that flash advantage? 𝗬𝗏 looking for a taunt, but can't quite find anything. The Drake already went down. So in the end, GAM gets it all. Tempered Fate comes out. 𝗬𝗏 goes gold. There's the red carpet. He hits the button. 𝗬𝗏 will go down. 𝗬𝗏's committed to the fight. I think he already regrets it. There's the taunt to come out. He goes for the Justice Punch back. 𝗣𝗏 very, very low. Can they claw a kill back? I think they will as the Rumble Tumble comes in. And it's a 1-for-1 in the play.
Hell to Eagle. He hit level 7. Yay.
Woo!
He's the
Good
champion
job.
now.
The bald eagle. Woo! It's not great though, is it? Look at what it's traded for. GAM coming out like robber barons as they get first tower, kills, and about everything else. Look at this replay. Oh, there's not even anything to say.
Absolutely smurfing this fight, by the way.
Yeah.
Perfect timing.
𝗬𝗏 did everything he could.
Slay smurfed that big time. Hit ult, very long range.
Yeah, it's true. But in the end, percent got the kill back, which is very nice.
𝗣𝗏𝗏 used his flash in the early engagement.
Yeah. I will just say your mic is being a little bit weird. You're cutting in and out, so you might want to just check that out. Sorry if I'm
for me. It seems like Discord's connection seems a little bit off.
Fair enough. So I will apologize to our broadcast if we do seem a little bit weird. We are talking over each other a little bit. Just it is Discord weirdness. We'll do our best, of course. In the bot lane, though, this is going to be where we want to watch for percent because, as you said, I think quite rightly, Big Coro better have some damn broad shoulders because he's got it all to do.
And we all know what this champion can do on 2, on 3, on 4 items. But can he ever get to that point here? That is the biggest question. We have Lulu, so he's even stronger on 2 items. I think 2 items is where percent is really looking to turn the whole game around. They have kept the gold lead relatively close. It's only 2.5k. So now it's on GAM to accelerate ahead. And 𝗣𝗏𝗏 caught again.
That he is. They're going in. 𝗣𝗏 will go straight down. Do they continue to try and get these kills? Kiaya and Levi are in range, but the slice over the wall, they will call the playoff. As they will just take their 1 kill. The window being reopened. GAM's letting the breeze in. And it's perhaps a bit of a too cold a day.
A little bit uncoordinated from GAM when it comes to...
Just want to point something out. Jungle CS.
Yeah. Jungle CS is looking like the enemy jungler in my games. For some reason, no one knows how to farm in the jungle. I'm always surprised in my normal games. It's like, what is going on, guys? You just have to hit the creeps. It's not hard. But Eagle is not very successful at that. To be fair, there's a big Lee Sin in his jungle all the time, stealing away his precious camps. So
he looks confused.
It's not quite as easy for him.
Look at that. He just presses S in his jungle and says, where the hell do I go? What am I supposed to do? Nocturne truly getting a taste.
He's on the most menacing Nocturne skin, so he looks very scary. But then you have to look at his CS and his level and realize
I disagree. Really I'm going to say Elderwood Nocturne is the best skin. Most scary.
Fair enough.
I love me a little bit of Fae spirits, but maybe that's just because I play a lot of Dungeons and Dragons. As GAM will move in to the second Rift Herald, Shirley and Shelly, the dynamic duo, have both gone over to GAM, and percent get the bot lane tower.
Fan of this play.
Yeah, this is not
they
bad.
gave 𝗣𝗏𝗏 solo gold on the bot lane. 𝗣𝗏𝗏 now on 1 item. He's building towards his second item. He will hit his 2-item power spike probably in time to do something in this game. So GAM once again enabled percent to funnel more resources into him, which is something I really don't like to see. GAM needs to find something here. They're still ahead in gold. They're still ahead in dragons. So it's most likely that they're going to play to their dragon win condition here.
Yeah, it's true.
But still, GAM, the percent has hold on even after the abysmal start in jungle, and it's still 50 CS, the difference in the jungle.
Yeah, it's worth saying, we always say, where did Levi get this lead? Saigon Buffalo fans, I'm very sorry, he has stolen a lot of Froggy's farm through the 5th dimension. Because games haven't even been played, but Levi's got Froggy's farm. That's our only explanation for these two players. This is a little bit rough.
You saw where the farm came from.
Yeah,
this is the game where he very obviously stole away Eagle's farm instead.
I mean, it's funny because it's interesting because bald eagles are often seen as this like magnificent bird. Really, like obviously they're America's symbol of pride. They're actually very small. They're one of the smallest breed of eagles. They actually look a bit pathetic if you compare them to other eagles. An eagle at the moment is looking pretty bald. Definitely not a wedgie. There's the paranoia. He's going in straight onto Levi. Wants to take him out. He gets booted back. There's the red carpet. Levi very, very low as the 𝗪𝗻𝗋 lands. This could be percent coming out on top of a fight. The tempered fate, if anything, is kind of helping percent out. 𝗵𝗂𝗏 desperately trying to kite back, but the 𝗪𝗻𝗋 has been found. And oh dear God, no. It's a massacre in the jungle. The machetes have been drawn as 𝗬𝗨 chases down to clear out the woods. And GAM come out heavily on top.
It's not your time yet, percent. It's not your time. You're not on 2 items. 𝗵𝗂𝗏 only has 1 item. Your Lulu is not strong enough yet to protect him against the big 𝗬𝗨 on the other side. Just wait a few more minutes. This was such an unnecessary fight to take. The start actually looked decent, looked promising, with a very good flank from YT, but you still just don't have the damage to follow up. Your mid laner is utility, your jungler is far behind, so all the damage has to come from YT and 𝗵𝗂𝗏, and mostly 𝗵𝗂𝗏 at that, so he had to funnel into the choke point, then 𝗬𝗨 just ate him alive, so very bad decision. Wolves snowball this game in favor of GAM once again.
Glory's TPing in onto 𝗬𝗨. They might try to. 𝗵𝗂𝗏 has a Gravitum to add some CC. It's been used. 𝗬𝗨 trying to dash away. There's the stun. There's a polymorph as well. 𝗬𝗨 desperately trying to run. Gets taunted up. Do they have the damage? Of course they do. And Glory gets the kill. A little bit back.
How much tenacity does 𝗬𝗨 have?
I know, right? But let's
insane.
Break down this replay for us, Yulwei. It starts with a paranoia.
Yeah, it also starts with a very good flank TP from YT, and you see the fight at the start looks very promising, and 𝗬𝗨 is too far away. 𝗧𝗏 buys some time, 𝗬𝗨 with a flash, slice and dice on top of 𝗵𝗂𝗏 now. 𝗧𝗏 also with decent damage on 𝗵𝗂𝗏 in the meantime, and Lulu can't stay alive to continue to provide support for her ADC, so the ADC dies first, then Lulu goes down too. She just isn't at the point where shields come out in like 2 seconds tagged, so not as frequent as it will be later on. Which means 𝗵𝗂𝗏 also not quite on the lifesteal levels he needs to sustain such a fight.
Yeah, it's very
so just a little bit early. The exact same point, fight taken 20 minutes later is a wipe for percent. So the idea is correct. It's just a little bit too early.
Lisa gets winged there by a true shot barrage. And I've got to say, as an Australian, getting some good use out of my Year 8 biology class is there's a rampaging crocodile and a failing eagle in this game. few Aussie animals. Fun fact, bald eagles, very small. They can only prey on very small other animals. Things like raccoon-sized is normally their prey of choice. Wedge-tailed eagles, which are Australian, can pick up sheep. Just fun fact. Yeah, pick sheep up and carry them away.
Right.
Just a bit of a fun fact. It's
like full-grown sheep?
Yeah, full-grown sheep.
What?
Yeah, they're huge. They're massive. They're some of the biggest eagles in the world.
You always want me to come to Australia. I'm too scared of your animals over there.
They're not in the city.
I can't handle things like that.
As long as you stay in the metropolitan biospheres, you'll be nice and safe. Don't you worry.
The biggest animal living in Germany in the wild is probably a wolf. Here and there, yeah, maybe.
We don't have wolves, to be fair. We've got dingoes, but dingoes are adorable. They're just angry dogs.
Dingoes?
They're wild dogs, essentially. They're like dogs. They're canines, but they're not domesticated because obviously domestication takes hundreds, if not thousands, of years to evolve into an animal.
Yeah.
Dingoes never went through that. But yeah, no, they're very cute, but don't have them as pets because they don't have that domestic instinct that most dogs have.
I mean, you know how I
know.
Spend to dogs, so
it's true.
Very unlikely to ever see me with a dingo, I think.
I mean, there are a few places. I've been to a few animal parks where you can feed them, because you can train them if you put a lot of effort in. But yeah. Australian animals. I mean, we've got some lovely animals. We have a platypus, which is an animal that, I mean, if you look at it, you think it's a joke. Did you know that platypuses have a neurotoxin? Something that people forget. What? They have a neurotoxin if they bite you. Actually, I don't think it's in their bite. I think it's a barb on their body. I'd have to check. But yeah, no, they have
a platypus is the one that is that can't decide if it's a mammal or a bird.
They are a monotreme. In fact, that is. Yeah. I think I'm reaching back in my memory here.
They look so funny too.
They are. Yeah, they're a cross between an otter, a beaver, and a duck. But yeah, no, they are a mammal that lays eggs essentially.
Yeah.
They're a monotreme. I think echidnas. I think Australia is the only continent with monotremes, and I think the only two monotremes on Earth are platypus and echidnas. I'm happy to be wrong on that one. I'm not 100% sure.
I don't know what the second one is.
Echidnas are like porcupines, but they're a little bit different. They look very similar to porcupines, but they are a distinct species. They are native to Australia. The reason Australia is so different... I mean, we're a little bit off topic, but this game's slowed right down.
A little bit. just
Australia didn't go through the last ice age that Earth did. We split off.
Hold your point. We're actually approaching Mountain Soul here, so that's going to be important.
That's a little bit more important than Australia's ice age. You are quite correct. So let's have a talk about this one. What would it mean for the game should GAM pick that one up? Is it GG with a Mountain Soul?
Not quite, but it opens up the win condition with Elder Dragon later on, and Percent would really like to delay Elder Dragon for a while. Also, of course, delay the soul or prevent the soul from happening if possible. I don't think the soul is actually going to be a win condition. In the later fights, it doesn't add enough HP to turn the fights. Mm-hmm. But can Percent do anything here? They are all grouped in the same spot, so very easy for GAM to protect the dragon here.
3k health paranoia has come out. They're going to look forward. YT gets a slicing maelstrom, but it's only on to 𝗧𝗂𝗍 getting focused out on the side here. He goes down. That is now 2k health on the dragon. Eagle takes a lot of damage. There it is. The Mountain Soul has been secured. No, I'm telling a lie, as it was actually the Nocturne that got it. Percent steals the dragon. Can they get away? Glory should be the sacrificial lamb here. He'll be picked up by that big wedgie, no problem. But it's a 1-for-1, and Percent has delayed the soul.
It's so important for them. Bikor, you need to be careful.
He does.
He gets attacked by LeviQ.
GAM is
Levi
not
has
happy.
Flash, but no ultimate.
So I think they will be backing off now. What does that mean for the game that they've delayed the soul for 5 minutes?
It's very good for the game for Percent. They can now chill a while. They, of course, need to keep vision up on Baron. So there's no Baron sneak for GAM, because Baron could really break them here. It's hard for them to defend against Baron. There's a lot of siege potential, a lot of zoning from GAM. So Baron is now the prime objective. And Percent is just here to stall. 2 items completed for Bikoro. He's going to work on a third one. And we actually get to see the replay.
Starts with the paranoia as always.
YT is just here to zone. YT is not dealing any damage, but he zones off 2 targets. And the 𝗂𝗍 is isolated on the other side. So now we actually arrived at the point where Renekton alone can't deal with the backline anymore. That's a super important point in this game, because now Percent can rely on the fact that GAM needs to dive in. Their composition can't do anything else, especially the 3 frontliners. So as long as Renekton is going to initiate the fight and trying to dive into the backline, it's going to be a good fight for Percent, because they can just focus him down. And there isn't really the big, long-range artillery mage or anything that can profit from the front line just diving in. Easylove, of course, has some damage under his belt. He's in a good position. But Ezreal into Lulu he struggles to really deal the lethal blow, because Lulu with all his shields can delay for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Eagle
is a little bit caught out there. There's the red carpet. He cannot get away. He brings the darkness. but it's only going to shroud the rest of his team as he's been put in a box. There's a tempered fate. Lisa's in some trouble. Will he be torn apart? No, gets the Galio shield. The statue will protect Demacia for now, but not a good situation. Of course, will GAM just head straight to Baron? It looks like they will. They have an appointment with the Worm Doctor. And will he give them his prescription? Doesn't look like %'s going to be out of
the 200 years moment. Because actually wasting all this ammo here. Now the contest is in, but a 4k gold. What happened to the TP?
4,000 health. The TP seems to have been cancelled by 𝗬𝗄𝗃's stun. And with that, % just call it off. And GAM are just going to take a free Baron, traded for a mid lane outie. You take that one every day of the week.
Yeah, absolutely do. So now it's really on GAM to close out this game. They have Baron, as I said before, very hard to defend against Baron on this composition. The range is not quite there. We can see how the TP got interrupted. 𝗬𝗄𝗃 probably just dives forward with a slice and dice. Not very well played from YT. He should have backed off a little bit further. That was in vision still, so very easy for 𝗬𝗄𝗃. He didn't even have to flash, neither on the way in nor on the way out. So, a little bit too overzealous, I guess, for YT. He could have tried to play this a little bit more cautiously. But instead, blowing his TP now, he's sitting on Ignite and level 15. So close to level 16, that's quite a big power spike for Kennen.
It's true.
He's only on 2 items, though. And so far, Slay has been on point with the exhaust. So Kennen is really just there to either peel or buy a little bit of space for his backline. And his backline is online. 3 items plus stopwatch and the Ardent sensor done. So there's a lot of damage from 𝗣𝗂𝗃.
Well, we've talked a lot about how % potentially gets back in this game. They're, of course, 5k down now. The 𝗬𝗏𝗃 is the big carry potential for them. We're going to have to see if 𝗣𝗂𝗃 can pull that off. But how does GAM close this game out? It's assuming they are in the lead. If they were to win this one, how are they going to do it, Yulwei?
So a break an inhibitor here with the Baron would go a long way to open up the next few objectives. I think this game is probably an Elder Dragon game for GAM. So you secure an inhibitor here, you set up the Mountain Soul. That comes up in 20 seconds already. So they are not quite in time with the inhibitor. So right now, % can look to fight back. Good weapon combo for 𝗣𝗂𝗃 to take a fight right now. Especially if 𝗬𝗄𝗃 dives in or Levi dives in. So
Red gun.
I feel like this game is on a nice
It's already
edge.
gone. He doesn't have enough red gun. It's actually pretty disastrous for this 𝗬𝗏𝗃, if anything. I think he could have played his ammo a little bit better. He's only got enough ammo for 1 Q. Yeah, this is a bit of % being caught flat-footed. They will not be first on the dance here. They've got no vision for a Paranoia in. That's a free Mountain Soul. That's a little bit questionable, you've got to say.
It's actually not quite free. GAM invested a lot of time to get this Mountain Soul and kind of traded it instead of getting an inhibitor. So % might be fine with this trade. Of course, the shield is annoying, but the Elder Dragon actually gives you a way back into the game if you're able to steal that one or win a fight before Elder Dragon. So it's not the worst for % to lose this one. And if they can win this fight...
There's the Paranoia. There will be the engage here from Eagle. He hits the spell shield but doesn't block anything. And the Magical Journey says, I'm not scared of anything. The Nightmare did not come in. 𝗬𝗄𝗃 might really be the scary dream. He's hunting forward onto YT here, who didn't go through the gate. There's the Galio ult to get the bounce house going. Knocks up 3, but will it be enough? Glory gets the stun on 1, but it's just, there's no damage being dealt. That Mountain Soul paying absolute dividends, as it looks like the base will be broken. And how does % ever win a fight if it goes like that?
Wait, he didn't ultimate.
He wants to save it for round 2, potentially.
Cannon ultimate available. He was on top of 5 or 4 people of GAM. He didn't press his R key. That was very surprising. Now it's coming in.
Yeah, there it is. There's the slicing maelstrom there. It's only hitting onto 𝗬𝗄𝗃 at the moment as the Nexus turrets are under siege. Goes Golden is the Renekton. There are a lot of low health bars. There's a double kill for the Ezreal. And I think we might be seeing GAM take game 1. It broke out of nowhere. It was the Mountain Soul into a Nexus. And I did not expect the game to end this quickly, but it's GAM, and you know what GAM can do. They take this Nexus down and they go up to a solid 1-0 lead over %. We will, of course, be back in just a few minutes to break that one down with our analyst desk. We hope you enjoyed the game here on VCS English. Join us in about 2.5 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. We'll see the timer. Thank you for joining us. Don't go anywhere. G'day, 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 everybody. Welcome back. We've got GAM versus 𝗃. It was a convincing game one. 𝗃 really didn't have much of a chance in it as Levi flexed his jungle muscles in that one and brought the thunder from down under. As I don't even know why it was down under. What am I saying? Vinnie
was really animals from Australia. So
yeah, we were talking about Australia. Vinnie, do you want to give us your perspective on game one? Because of course you weren't on the cast.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a 4v5 for most of that game, wasn't it? Because Eagle just got set behind so hard early. Levi was matching CS with his top laner, and poor Eagle was having to pay for it. And I mean, huge shout out to 𝗃𝗏𝗿 in the early stage for being able to facilitate that. I mean, Rumble plays a big part in that with the perma push, and then it was just
we haven't seen Rumble in ages. Rumble mid lane has really fallen out of favor, so it's interesting to see him come back to the Rumble. But this seemed well practiced, just the pressure comp, pressure all three lanes and let Levi run rampant, and then just win in the mid game. So. Fit GAM style.
Then the bot lane played fights really well. The one fight that looked like it was going to go 𝗃's favor in the early game around that second dragon, I think it was.
Yeah, it was. The first dragon was uncontested.
They made a decent play. They caught out. They got Levi down, and they managed to hold off. And I think they got Dia as well, but. 𝗎𝗍𝗏 was untouched. He was just on the side throwing in Qs, and it was. Yeah,
they got 𝗬𝗏𝗍 and Levi. I think 𝗬𝗏 ended up surviving because he got a really big equalizer in that fight. I think it was 𝗬𝗏 and Levi that went down. But regardless, I know the one you're talking about. And we are heading thick and fast into draft, and
I'm heading thick and fast into a poor screen.
You might be a little bit behind. Yulwei, what would you like to see 𝗃 change up in this one to potentially take us to 3 games?
So even though I like the composition, I feel like Eagle needs to go back to facilitating tank junglers, go back to Trundle, maybe try some Sejuani, Nunu, who knows? Anything that can work for you. Because I feel like they need a little bit more of a front line. I am also not the biggest fan of Cannon as a champion generally, and then also even more so in the hands of 𝗬𝗏. Just pick a tank for 𝗬𝗏. You're never going to win lane with 𝗬𝗏. He was fine here against 𝗬𝗏, but that's not good enough. I think he needs to offer a little bit more in team fights. Cannon is so easy to counter with just a well-timed exhaust, with a few slows here and there. So yeah, would like to see him back on a tank, Eagle on a tank too, and then just rely on Glory and 𝗃𝗏𝗏 to carry you through late game team fights.
Yeah, we've got identical bans here, and the draft shaping out similarly as well, despite the side swap. First pick Renekton. They love 𝗬𝗏𝗏 on the Crocodile Rock. And they will, looks like 𝗃 want to go back to the 𝗃𝗏𝗏𝗏. Ooh, no, they change it up at the last moment. And they go towards a Senna.
Yeah, okay, this has been banned a couple of times against them ever since the OPG series, I think it was. And you got to see the monkey combo. So it's probably going to be monkey in the top lane, and then they're going to just rely on buffing the making sure the monkey doesn't die. So I would not be surprised to see a Karma come in as well, as much as I wasn't a huge fan of this. As long as they recognize the adaptations they needed to make as that series progressed, and go for the Graves and the Braum as well instead of the Rek'Sai Tahm Gensh they started with, though admittedly Graves was banned in that first game. It's an okay comp, but I think here you could just have Levi take Graves away and it's all fine. Or you just ban it next phase and then they really have to look somewhere else for that damage.
Well, GAM will be securing the Aphelios Thresh, a fearsome bot lane. We know that for sure, the Soul Stealers. Yulwei, how are you feeling so far? What does 𝗃 do here in this last pick, and then their bans as
No.
And it's over.
And both my analysts lose their minds as the Froggy Boy is coming in. And Froggy is not doing well in the VCS, both as a pick and a player. But it is just the pick this time. Yulwei, How does Percent round
Well-
this one out to actually get the win?
I actually feel like Percent's start to the comp wasn't the worst. Very good range to counter the Renekton and also the incoming Aphelios, so really didn't mind the Senna Wukong here. I feel like they need a lot more damage though. Maybe a Ryze for Glory, because everyone is short-ranged on GAM too, so Ryze could actually thrive in team fights. I would really like to see the Ryze, and then round it out with some kind of tank jungler, Trundle, just to make soften up Kiaya in team fights even more. So I feel like Trundle, Ryze would be my choice here for Percent.
Yeah, I would also like to see some sort of tank jungler. I almost would have said don't ban the Gragas and just play tankier Gragas. But I don't know what Eagles champs are. I have a feeling they're going to go for the Graves Karma, and with the bans GAM's putting down, I think they're trying to bait them into that. Because if you don't have the mid lane picks, you have to sort of go to the jungle for the damage, and that's all.
Yes, Graves Karma could be fine.
That's what they ran
a little bit
last
heavy
time.
on AD though.
I think the Silas pick hints a big ultimate though, because there's currently 2 desirable ultimates to steal. Obviously, Wukong and Senna are pretty good nicks, but 2 ults is not quite enough to pick Silas, in my opinion. So they go straight to the Nidalee. Eagle wants to make up for the game 1. How's GAM gonna round it out? Yulwei, use that big brain of yours. We know how good you are. What are these 2 picks?
Tristana and Karthus?
Oh, I'd love some Karthus. He's busted on the patch. Like, Karthus is broken on this patch. I'm shocked that we don't see him.
Actually, by the way,
Levi 𝗵𝗲𝗿𝗄𝗏. There it is. Yaha 𝗵𝗲𝗿𝗐𝗐. Here we go.
I'm going to be so disappointed if this is DO1's Fiddlesticks.
Nah, it's definitely not. It's definitely Levi's. He's
Levi
so
loves
good
this
on
champion so much.
I know. But so more or less the same thing, just with the
yeah, it is.
instead of the Karthus. Plays the same sort of style. So not too far off. You got that. If you're looking for that big ultimate, you could. This is actually a good, decent pick into the Tristana because
very good counter. Actually, one of the only champs you lose lane against as mid lane Tristana. One of the very few mid laners.
Don't bait me like that.
Oh man, and the Karma doesn't make much sense. You don't even have a jungler that can profit. You don't even have a bot laner either that really likes the Karma items. I think Karma is horrible.
Well, Vinny, I won't torture you by making you talk about Percent, so I'll make you talk about the GAM comp instead. It was rounded out with the Tristana and the Fiddle. What do you think of GAM's comp? What are their win conditions, and do you like it?
It's pretty standard GAM comp. You can just sort of...
Bit weird to say, but yeah.
You just sort of look for DL1 and Kiaya to win their lanes. Easy Love and Slayer will probably play a weak side. Levi will just farm up and then be massive in team fights. An occasional get a hero there. It's all good out of him. And Percent continue, and I'm just going to throw it in there because I'm mad. Percent continues to upset me with their Karma priority.
Hey! I said talk about GAM. I said talk about GAM, boy. Hey, I'm going to get a seltzer bottle. I'm going to come to Ballarat and spray you. Bad Vinny. Bad analyst.
Wow, just doxed me.
Oh, wow. I gave away the city you live in. I'm sure. I don't think anyone's going to hunt you down, my friend. Yulwei, I'm going to give you the tougher job. How does Percent win this one? What are their win conditions, and do you like the comp?
What are their win conditions? Good question. I guess put Levi behind so far that he doesn't matter, and then build armor items.
Monkey. They've been listening to our content. They've been listening to our content. They know that Monkey is how to play.
Oh, it's so bad.
It's pretty shocking. They do have their new coach on stage, by the way. We got a confirmation that the new name on their draft was their new coach, but it's not showing at the moment. Vinny, is it going to 3 games or not?
I mean, Percent has this has this thing where they play really well in the games where they have really bad drafts recently. So it could be, but I'm not gonna say it's going to.
Fair enough. You're picking GAM. I can't say I blame you. Early on here, we do have 2% members sneaking into the brush, but they were spotted, of course. They back out. Yulwei.
And the first thing I want to talk about is Levi's rune choice. This is something that... So 𝗪𝗪𝗀𝗀𝗀, I'm a little bit sad to see, because there was one game in the LEC just before the pause hit, where 𝗲𝗂𝗍𝗂𝗍, I think, the jungler for Misfits, played the Fiddlesticks, and he played Spellbook and teleported into top lane to gank with a teleport. That was so cool. I wanted to see the Spellbook jungler again.
Absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, sadly not the case here. And YT is trying to scout this out.
He has.
Yeah, he has the information.
Yeah, it is everyone playing with their cards face up here. Levi will, of course, do the Fiddlesticks thing of taking 2 camps at once. He's buggered it, though, as the red buff resets.
Oh, no.
This is a little bit ugly. Fiddlesticks, these clears looking very scary at the moment, so at least he's looking...
This is actually very bad for Fiddlesticks. He's going to lose a lot of HP off the red buff, because he doesn't have the small raptors to heal himself.
Yeah, I mean, he can just smite it if he really wants to, and I mean, it's Fiddlesticks.
Yeah, he probably is going to smite it. Why not? There's nothing preventing him from smite. Oh, wow, he's going to 3 clear.
Yeah, I mean,
that's interesting.
It's Fiddlesticks. Does health matter? Does he have a health bar? I don't think he has a health bar in the jungle. I'm pretty sure it's
And 𝗂𝗂𝗍𝗂 might even be faster than Fiddlesticks. That is very surprising. Fiddlesticks is one of the fastest 3 camp clearers in the game. Some people claim he's the fastest. So interesting to see 𝗂𝗂𝗍𝗂 actually beat him to the punch here. Or it's at least, yeah, he's level 3 first. So 𝗂𝗂𝗍𝗂 more... I guess he started a little bit earlier. I think so.
With the red buff
the reset didn't help. Yeah, the reset didn't help.
Yeah, but both junglers
reset
should
actually
be
cost me a game yesterday. Those resetting buffs are very pesky.
Yeah, we'll have to find out. But we are looking at the top lane here. He's in the bush. Will he be able to get the early spookums on YT?
Yeah.
Shh, don't even bring it up. They are moving in here. YT's got to get his monkey business. There's the fear into the stun. Can he get a clone off? He goes for the dive forward. He wants to kill Levi. And there's the first blood. Can he even get away from 𝗂𝗂𝗍𝗂? He can. The triumph comes in. And no, he will be cut down. But it's a 1-for-1 that was not meant to happen. And oh boy, that's a bad start.
Even though it's actually still a positive play for GAM because they deny oh no, he has TP. So Levi is sinning out of his mind on his farming jungler. He could have been done with level 4, almost approaching level 5 at this point if he just took the top side. Instead, he's now going to take the top side. Of course, because top and mid lane are pushed in, there's no real opportunity for 𝗂𝗂𝗍𝗂 to steal away some camps, so it's not as bad as it could have been. But there's now a bot lane dive possible. They have aggro reset with Lisa.
Easy love's very low. Oh, a spear lands, but they call it off. I feel like they could have gone for that one, but they are just playing it safe.
Nidalee is very bad into Thresh at dives because the main damage gets denied.
Let's have a look at this replay real quick before we talk about it. See how YT gets this first kill. He played this very well. He has no clone. He just goes full aggro. He does have clone, actually. I'm telling the complete lie.
Yeah, I was very surprised he didn't use clone at the start to just buy a little bit of time. I thought he didn't have clone leveled up, which would make a lot of sense on level 2. So very surprising to see his clone at the end there. In the end, gets a kill back, has to TP back to lane, of course, so now there's at least a TP advantage for 𝗂𝗂𝗍𝗂, but in terms of CS, he's even, and he even got the first kill, so, of course, he actually traded the red buff over to 𝗂𝗂𝗍𝗂, so that's not nice. Play into one of the strongest auto-attacking top laners with the red buff on top of him.
Still, it's better.
He should be fine.
It's fine, honestly. It's Glory. Don't know where that queue is going, son. D1 has got his Tristana as well. He'll be a very happy chappy in the next patch. But the Tristana buffs are, of course, not live yet. They haven't even hit the real servers. Easy love. So very low. The bot lane going in favor of 𝗪𝗛 as 𝗂𝗂𝗍𝗂 is having a third look down here. He's very low. But is being a sneaky little kitty. Won't be found out yet.
Eagle is. I'm not in love with his pathing. I think he could have definitely profited a little bit more if he would just went back to his own jungle a little bit earlier and took away all the camps. Because Levi spent so much time in top lane, and he's now still ahead in CS by 1. But he should have been behind by 3-4 camps now. Eagle should be on level 5 already. Instead, he spent so much time trying to go for the dive. As we see DR1 just casually tanking some turret hits. He has nothing to fear. There isn't really anything that can threaten him in this mid lane. Eagle be too low in level. Also needs to hit the spear first, which is very unlikely against Flash and W for 𝗂𝗃. So, yeah, 𝗂𝗃 can play super aggressively. This Nidalee pick is looking a little bit useless so far, I have to say.
Yeah, it's a bit of a strange one for Eagle. I think we do prefer Eagle just going to his trundles, going to his tank junglers. But he's decided to try and carry today with Nocturne and Nidalee. Maybe he's just going through the alphabet. He's hit N. He's doing an A to Z challenge. He's just got a little bit backwards. He thought O came before N. So before
Sadly, his
I,
team right now on a streak of losing 0-2, so getting through all the names is going to take a lot of time with only 2 games a day.
How many champions are we at now? 150? Something like that?
149 with Lilia. 150 is Yone.
Lilia, who's that? I only know Yone. Yone, I should say. He's completely overshadowed. No one in our community likes Lilia. It's not like all 3 of our personalities that appear on cast have been Lilia one tricks.
I really don't care about Yone, I have to say.
I don't give a shit about him, but YT has found Levi and will zone him off the red buff here. Could pull Eagle a camp ahead.
That's a very good play for YT.
Yeah.
This actually brings Eagle back in terms of farm. He's still behind Levi, surprisingly enough. He spends, I guess he secured the Dragon Force team, so that's good for him. Still feel like he could have done much more in the early game. If you compare this to the last early game where Levi just took Eagle's camps over and over again after getting one small opportunity. Levi's level 6. Can he get the kill?
See the crows coming in. There it is. Glory immediately flashes away, says, "I will not be part of your murder, good sir." As Karma gets away.
That was so close. Like 2 team moves away from actually hitting the fear there. Now no ultimate for Levi. That's a big loss.
It is.
Eagle stole away the red buff. No, he didn't. Nope. Of course, he took his own red buff. So Levi is going to take his own red buff for the first time. We see the double clear, of course. It is the one thing Fiddlesticks excels at. So he's going to go back to farming. First ultimate, not very successful. Luckily enough for him, it's not Dark Harvest.
I mean,
so
he did get the flash, right? Like, it was a gank that got the laner's flash. It's not a disaster. Of course, with the first Crow Storm, you do want to kill, you're right. We kind of look at it like the Nocturne ultimate. But he gets the Karma flash. So it's not that bad.
He still missed his ultimate, so... you know,
you're not wrong.
So Levi just going back to the farming ways. He's going to rush his runic echoes. I'm actually not sure about itemization right now on Fiddlesticks. I feel like you just go full AP as much as possible. See what he wants to go for in this game. Flat penetration or maybe something like Liandry's or Rylai's for more control.
Yeah,
Instead we have Eagle now.
They are on to this Rift Herald here. It's going very low. 1500 health. 𝗂𝗃 will pop the dominance. They definitely want to contest. Charging forward. Their Eagle just hops out of the pit. They should be succeeding this one over to GAM. YT goes forward. Knocks them all up with the monkey business. Not sure who got the Drake in the end. Sorry, the Herald, I should say. But Levi is dead. There's the Herald picked up. It must have gone over to %. And that's a big, big win for them.
Very good fight from %, very patient, not over-chasing into the GAM core, and then good re-engage from YT, with very good ultimate from Big coming in from the side as well. Just good coordination shown, Eagle getting the clutch smite over the wall, just jumped over there, smited away, the Herald, and they actually get the objective and the kill, so good start for %. So far the Levi Fiddlesticks hasn't really accomplished much.
Yeah, it's true. So let's have a replay here.
Just sneakingly getting back there. Floop.
Hits the smite.
Nice
there it is. Very well done here, I think. They really didn't give GAM any agency in that fight. What could GAM do?
Yeah, no, they just grouped up as a very solid unit. They gave YT shields from 𝗵𝗂𝗏, and also Lisa's flash gobble was still there if you were to drop low.
Ooh,
So
hello,
pretty safe approach.
Crowstorm. Ooh, that was really ugly there, GAM. Is the prophecy coming true? The ancient Vinnie spoke to me and said, if percent picks a terrible draft, the win they shall get. And at the moment, they're looking pretty good. Even though they are down
still
500
behind gold, though.
But that's not bad again. Percent versus GAM, 11 minutes and it's 300 gold? That ain't bad.
Yeah, nameplate's on, that's true. Nameplate's off, it's still not great for the composition, though. As 𝗏𝗏𝗃 has secured some CS here there, he's still a little bit behind his projected curve. He would have liked to have like at least 2-3 assists plus maybe a kill at this point. So he's a little bit behind in itemization, but his base damages are still super high. So 𝗂𝗃,
he pops the Dominus, but Eagle is out of there. This kitty's got runs. He's gone. That's a Renekton ult used for absolutely nothing.
I mean, Eagle flashed over the wall, by the way.
I thought he jumped.
Was very
okay, fair enough. I thought he
𝗂𝗃.
jumped. My mistake. Yeah, no. Dominus getting a flash. Fair enough.
And also 𝗂𝗃 doesn't really rely on Dominus to do something here in this side lane. This matchup,
cannon,
okay, 𝗂𝗃, come on.
Come on. Hit those
Has he got a single cannon so far?
Not on camera. Sure. The observers are absolutely wrecking 𝗂𝗃. But can we touch on the CS in the top lane? Holy moly. What has happened?
It's the 𝗂𝗃 magic. The only S-tier player in our league, as some would say. Definitely showing why he is considered the best top laner by far. It's just super solid in every aspect of the game, and especially his laning phase is unrivaled here in the VCS. The second dragon, 𝗍𝗲, has no ultimate to jump over the wall, so this should probably just be the dragon for percent.
Yep, looks like they will just get this Cloud Drake. 𝗍𝗲 will flash!
Okay, never mind.
And, oh, good God, he just steals it. Oh, bloody. 𝗍𝗲, it's not fair. It's not fair. Get him off the rift.
It was so insanely risky to do.
That should never have worked. That should never have... Look, I'm just saying, you're not allowed to take... Oh, God, Glory's dead. As he will try and flash away, but absolutely no chance. Once again, 𝗍𝗲 illustrating my point. You're not allowed to take steroids at the Olympics, so why is GAM allowed to play 𝗍𝗲? He is a performance-enhancing jungler. It's not fair.
He really seems to be. So far in this game, actually had fading some ultimates, but now he's back here. He's even in CS, he got his first kill, and he stole away the dragon. That is very handy for 𝗏𝗏𝗃. More ultimate cooldown, less ultimate cooldown, of course.
Fantastic.
So he can just spam this and fish for hitting at least one of those sometime.
Eventually the crows will get at it. As Eagle and 𝗂𝗃 do meet in the river here. Eagle needs to be careful, but of course he's covered by his top laner. Did you know that within a murder of crows, if one crow is selfish and eats food before the young have been taken care of, they'll peck them to death. Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. They will exile them and potentially kill them. Yeah.
Good thing 𝗍𝗲 is the only crow here.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
He doesn't have to worry about that.
Exactly. He makes sure the whole murder gets a little bit of the gold and the kills. Yeah, crows are really smart as well. They're incredible. I think I've talked about this before. They are dolphin-level intelligence.
That's insane. Why don't you own a crow? Why are you a dumb bird? I'm not sure.
What do you mean, why am I a dumb bird? What?
No. Why do you own a dumb bird instead of a crow?
because
crow would actually take over the cost for a while.
True, because if I wanted a crow, it's about, I think, when I looked, because I did look into it, it's about $1,700 at a minimum. Rakan cost me $150. That's why. And also I love Rakan. But,
so we actually see YT trying to dominate his matchup. He's still a level down, and 𝗂𝗃 was level 10 for a while, whatever that sound was. I'm sorry.
I didn't hear it. Don't worry. It didn't get picked up.
So 30 CS lead for 𝗂𝗃, a little bit closer now in the top lane, and we are in a little bit of a stalemate. Percent actually in the lead, but GAM still scaling up. Some CS being secured for the ADCs. 𝗂𝗃 without a single kill, or even kill participation in at 15 minutes on one of his special champions. So that's a good sign for Percent. Usually on Tristana, he's sitting at something like 4 or 5 kills at this point. So at least they put him behind.
I'm honestly,
and Tristana from behind is not actually that great in the mid game.
I'm honestly still just annoyed that you've insulted my bird. I'll have you know, my bird is the only one in this entire broadcast that is approved by the LEC. As Eagle has been caught out, there's an Aphelios ult coming in, but it only catches 2, and they get away. Senna W comes in. There's an ultimate that gets a whole lot of nothing, and now Percent need to disengage, which they do successfully.
A good stopwatch from 𝗧. Actually wins the fight, not only the fight, but it will also win the 𝗬𝗏 fight. So, maybe an opportunity for GAM to break open the mid lane turret, but they trade bot lane turret and give a little bit more gold to YT and even lose the mid lane turret, so completely out-rotated by Percent on this play. And it's only going to be a Herald against 2 turrets. That is not worth it. Don't do this at home. That is a very bad trade. He's still, by the way, occupied taking the Herald, because he's a very bad champion at taking Heralds. So this is going to take some time.
Yeah, he's still
on it. Is he frozen on the map? He just stood there for minutes on minutes.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's fiddlesticks, right? You press W and then go get yourself a drink, make yourself a sandwich. Then you come back and your W is like halfway done. So you go, okay, cool, I'll just make sure that's still running. Go to the bathroom. It's great. Fiddlesticks is great if you're kind of expecting to be able to go AFK. But he did finally get
I have to say, I really don't enjoy Fiddlesticks. I looked at his rework, I looked at his gameplay, and I thought, okay, this is actually my kind of jungler, just farming all day and carrying team fights. But he's so boring to play, man.
He is. I think
there's no movement, there's no kiting, he just presses W.
I think he's very fun to watch, though. I think Crowstorm is a super hype moment.
He brings some hype moments.
But let's be real, we've all been recently indoctrinated into the cult of Lilia, who has the most fun.
He probably moves more in one jungle clear than he does in the whole game.
We do have a little bit of engage there. 𝗖𝗄 diving in. 𝗧 got it going. The Crowstorm will come in. Legal flashes away. Can Percent disengage? Glory trying to make it happen. There is the Wukong ult in the back line, knocking them all up. He's trying to hunt EasyLove down, but can't quite do it. The Aphelios doing everything. Eagle will be the first to fall. YT will go down to the buster shots of 𝗤𝗏. He hops forward, will claim Lisa as well. Big Koro's the next fight, and it's a triple kill for 𝗤𝗏. An ace for GAM. 5-4-0. Where did that come from?
And on their champions, they are teamfight gods. There was such a well-fighted fight by both the ADCs. Yeah, both ADCs just played the fight perfectly. Levi actually, once again, without any kind of impact, he wasted his ult. To be fair to him, his ult was stopwatched and then disengaged from by Lisa. So he had very little to do with the win in this fight. But instead, both ADCs playing it almost perfectly. Very good kiting from EasyLove, and then also good backside execution from 𝗤𝗏, who got all the kills in the end, is finally accelerated. Will work on his second item, Rageblade, going to come in here. And another dragon over to them. But
so break this one down. 𝗧 gets it started. Oh, good God, 𝗧.
Yeah, that was so well done by 𝗧. But Eagle does not get feared here because, of course, Levi enters vision when he is still on stopwatch, so the fear wears off at that point. And EasyLove with perfect kiting, no one can get to him. Then also 𝗤𝗏 in the middle of the pack. No one can hit 𝗤𝗏 either. Big Koro on Senna. He doesn't have the auto attacks. It's Senna. Senna doesn't really have any damage at this point, so it's very easy for the 2 AD carries who are still alive to carry the team fight. Well done. Perfect engage from 𝗧. That was something to watch out for.
Here we go, another Crowstorm. 𝗤𝗏 following up on it. Big Koro will be the second target. And the game has been broken open, and much like a Mongol horde, GAM does not let a breach in a wall go unflooded. As once they win a team fight, they keep on winning them.
Yeah, I think that was actually the first time the ultimate brought the fear, and immediately we saw the insane potential from that. There is such a long fear, and you also are exposed to all the damage from the ultimate. Then the next fear is not actually going to fear you, because that's how new Fiddlesticks works. But it's going to deal extra damage. It's going to slow you. You're going to get silenced. So once the ultimate feel hits you, especially if it's 2 or 3 targets, it's basically game over, and we saw that in action there. Good follow-up for 𝗣𝗲𝗏, who gets another kill. Rage Blade completed, by the way. Straight up.
YT might be in some trouble as he's been found by 3. We'll use the Cyclone to try and get out of there, but I don't think he has much of a chance. Center ult comes in for a shield, but it's not enough. Now at %, they teleport down to try and help him out, but it's far too late.
Yeah, it's Karma teleporting in, so
Woo!
What is she going to do? Run at them?
Ooh, so exciting.
Nice.
Karma. Woo.
Yeah, the game is over. The game is really over now. The scaling is in 𝗂𝗏's
Oh, hello, we go to the mid lane, and once again, 𝗂𝗏's 2 brain cells have been activated, and they say Unga and Bunga, as they are looking for some kills here. 𝗣𝗲𝗏 with a good buster shot, the Moonlight Vigil will not land, and he gets a kill. He's got to reset there. Big Koro's the next target, and bang, it's 𝗣𝗲𝗏 on the Tristana, 6-0. This man cannot be stopped.
I guess he's forcing his name on the Player of the Series card again with some Tristana plays. He was 0-0-0 at 15 minutes. Now 6 minutes later, 9 kill contributions, 6 kills to his name. Baron is going to go down. The game is more than over. What an insane acceleration from 15 to 21 minutes. 𝗂𝗏 just playing it G2 style, tripling their gold lead. Now more than tripling, probably something
but
like...
G2 style would be losing.
Last year's G2 style. This year's G2 is nothing we speak about here.
Now, this is Mad Lions gang. All my homies love Mad Lions. But yeah, that is Baron going over. This is looking very, very over as 𝗂𝗏. They've activated. They're here. They're fearsome. Get used to it.
Yeah, it's an impressive showing, and I especially like that they are actually keeping their foot on the gas in this matchup. They lost the first best of 3 against %. They actually got stomped. And last week, they played with their foot a little bit against 𝗀𝗏𝗏g. They lost the game again against 𝗀𝗏𝗏g, actually 4-2 now against 𝗀𝗏𝗏g on the season. And they started 𝗎𝗎, they gave him some time, they experimented in draft. Today, not the case. Just comfort drafts. Very strong from start to finish. So I like to see that. 𝗂𝗏 really getting into playoff form and looking scarier and scarier every single week.
Yeah, for sure. Potentially looking for a bit of engage here. Try and get something back, but they're immediately fended off. The Moonlight Vigil hits a whole lot of air, but it is enough to stop anything from %. It's a low cooldown. It's not a big deal.
I think there should be punishment for missing a Moonlight Vigil. Like, oh, okay, 𝗎𝗏𝗏.
Oof, very aggressive, but has a lantern to get him out. Yeah, a bit of a punishment.
We need a global boo or something whenever you completely whiff your ultimates. Like,
maybe
all the minions look at you disappointedly.
Maybe they should, really accelerate it. 𝗣𝗏𝗏 is being collapsed on, but he doesn't get it. Maybe they should, you missed your Moonlight Vigil, so we're going to shine a really bright light in your eyes, like in real life, and be like, well, you missed the Moonlight Vigil, which means the sun is demanding. As now we're just going to literally blind you. Might be a bit harsh, but then again,
I would like for all the minions to spam an emote, like the sad Gnar or something.
Slay takes a lot of damage there, but Levi's going to dive forward with the Crow Storm. YT, he's spinning, but he's not winning, as they're just doing no damage here. 𝗖𝗄𝗏 goes very low, but 𝗂𝗏 under tower will lose 𝗖𝗄𝗏. And it is % fighting back here. A bridge too far by 𝗂𝗏.
Sure. A few bridges. That was very, very, very silly. We see a little bit of 𝗂𝗏 having fun now in the last few minutes. 𝗂𝗏 tends to take a little bit longer for their wins because they do silly stuff like that. It's not the greatest showing for international competition later on, where especially last Worlds in their best games, they actually had a big gold lead. Think back to the Splice game. I'm not going to talk about this replay because it doesn't matter.
We should talk about it. It was % finally getting something. YT went in, got a lot of knockups, and in the end, 𝗖𝗏𝗏 just took too many tower shots.
𝗖𝗏𝗏 died.
Actually rotted. He rotted down for some dots.
Yeah. All the dots killed him in the end. So a little bit unfortunate for 𝗖𝗏𝗏. This is another game where 𝗖𝗏𝗏 is just the big meatball in the front. He dominated his lane, so, I mean, you can't really fault him. It's a little bit sad to see because he's not put in the position to continue his race to #1 in MVP standings. I believe he's going to get overtaken by players like 𝗣𝗲𝗏 after this game. So I would like to see a little bit more of a carry setup for 𝗬𝗧 in the future. Maybe more Jax next patch. The Jax buffs will be there for
The
absolutely
most
no reason.
unnecessary buffs in existence. Riot just saying, we really want Jax to be 100% presence. 𝗬𝗧 has been caught out once again. YT moving forward. They will not fully engage, but what? 𝗬𝗧 playing this one super bold. As he does get bound up.
Standing there.
Don't go for it. There's a teleport back to base here, because look at the back door. He was just buying time as the base is cracked open. He stops backs as well, as they're going to try and trade a kill onto him. There's the flash forward. That should be the stun easily enough. And it's a crocodile being traded for the whole damn base. And crocodiles can't chew, but apparently they can rip a team apart. 𝗍𝗲 going in 1v3 is actually getting a surprising amount done as they continue to buy time. Nexus towers are falling as the rest of GAM are saying, you can get all the kills you want. We're gonna take the series. Do they have time here? The second tower will fall. Can they get the Nexus? They need to hit it. Just focus it out as fast as they can. 𝗬𝗏 kills Big Koro, and now they can just focus the Nexus. They're even gonna go for kills. They're flexing on percent, the perfectly timed hook out of Slay. Easy Love can finish up the Nexus, and GAM take the series 2-0. And let's head back over to chat with our analysts. Of course, it's a completely different set of people. It couldn't possibly be the same. As for some reason, Vinnie's...
So what I took away from this game is that Tristana really desperately needs buffs. She's in desperate need of that 50% damage buff on E. So I really can't do anything right now. So, good to see the buff coming in 10-16.
Vinnie, you got any takeaways, mate? You got anything to say? Big percent fan, I know.
I think I'm going to lose my fantasy matchup today.
Yeah, you know who you're up against?
Yeah,
you know who you're up against? It's me.
I know.
Big boy, 𝗬𝗏. The Antifa super soldiers, they never stop, mate. I finally lost.
He's doing wonder for me.
I finally lost in fantasy, by the way. I lost last week, but I think I'm going to bounce back this week. Don't worry. But yeah, what were your takeaways from that game? Was there any good signs out of percent? I think they got a bit manhandled.
The early game from percent was good. And up until those team fights where the problems of the draft really shone through, it was really looking good. And I was thinking, hey, maybe percent's got this game. I think if they had a Cassio instead of the 𝗂𝗏, they might have had this game.
Yeah, that's true.
But
very possible.
We got a 𝗂𝗏 and they lost again.
Can you tell me one play where 𝗂𝗏 did something useful for a team? I don't think so, right?
Look, I'm just going to give you a hint, Yulwei. I know you're stepping into hosting there. You're not meant to ask your analyst questions without answers. I'm just saying.
The most useful thing the 𝗂𝗏 did there was that really early tether when 𝗬𝗏 tried to dive and just had to sit there looking like a chump and eat like 3 tower shots. Like, oh man.
Oh, true.
That was it. The 𝗂𝗏 was worthless other than that. I mean, maybe the safety did prevent 𝗬𝗏 from going volatile earlier, but...
Maybe.
Yeah. Look how that
we actually forgot to talk about it in game 1, but we'll forget about that. Who was your MVP of game 2, lads? I think there's a couple of options. Slay. I mean, Slay was really good. I think there's a case for Slay, but I think it was probably 𝗬𝗏. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it was 𝗬𝗏, for sure.
Popped off.
He did. As he so often does. And, of course, he will also be receiving our player of the series. This man in the mid lane really cannot be stopped. I mean, how do you deal with him? Turns out you can't ban him out, as our tagline, written by someone very funny, I don't know who it is really, has pointed out. It's Vinnie. He's a funny bloke. I mean, you really can't. How do you stop this guy? Yulwei, have you got any ideas of how to stop 𝗬𝗏 just winning them the split?
I guess 𝗲𝗏, it is back to 𝗲𝗏 duty for
everyone.
For 𝗬𝗏 every game. And then, just ult him and kill him with your jungler. That worked in finals. Why wouldn't it work for other teams too? So I guess that's the way.
Other than the great equalizer that is 𝗲𝗂, I think maybe you just sort of.
I mean, there were great equalizers in game 1.
Yeah, you just try and bait the pick and then work on a very niche counter pick to that. At least 2, because so like say you leave Jace open, he's like, oh hell yeah, I'm gonna play Jace, and then you pick, I don't know what a Jace counter is, but
Yorick.
Yeah, Yorick mid, let's go. Everybody.
Yorick mid, all right, Yulwei. Sure, dude. Lilia, let's go.
Yeah, maybe Lilia comes out and
Lilia against Jace, no thanks. 20 base armor against a Jace? No.
Just rush that frozen heart, man. It's a good.
I don't agree with your build. But regardless, that is going to be the end of our that is going to be the end of our game 1. I'm going to cut us off before we go too far down the deer tracks. That was a dominant performance out of GAM. It's kind of what we expected. We will be going to a short break. Hopefully it's not too long. But then again, those were some quick matches. So who knows? There'll be a timer on screen, don't you worry. We'll be back in not too long for Team Secret taking on OPG. Don't go anywhere, guys. We hope you are enjoying the show here on VCS English. If you go down below the stream, there are a bunch of panels you can click on. I'm not going to tell you what they do. You're going to have to find out. You have to click on them. Go nuts. Type in random numbers. Maybe they'll even take your money from your credit card. Ooh, spicy. Who knows?
Just give us the wacky 3 numbers on the back.
Ooh, yeah, just give it. 𝗲𝗏 needs your help. All he needs is the numbers on the front of your credit cards and then the wacky 3 numbers on the back. No, I'm joking, of course. Anyway, we'll be back in probably about 20 minutes for the second series. We hope you are enjoying it. We would love some feedback. Join our Discord community and follow us on Twitter. We'll see you guys in not too long at all.